Good afternoon. Welcome to our history class. This is Struggles at Home and Overseas. So after the Civil War in America, you would think that there would not be any more discrimination and that people were treated similarly. Well, you know about the Jim Crow laws, and you know that they made it legal to be racist and to separate people that were black and white. So there was still discrimination, and discrimination means that there is an unfair difference in the way people are treated. So African American soldiers fought in World War II, and they risked their lives just like every other man. So they wanted equal rights when they came home from the war. People who started something called the Civil Rights Movement wanted by law for every person to be treated the same, no matter what color, to be treated equally. One of the leaders, Martin Luther King Jr., led marches and protests to gather support of those who believe everyone should be treated equal. These were mostly peaceful protests, but bad things still happened to these people. One day, on August 28, 1963, there was something called the March on Washington, where 250,000 people marched to hear Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous "I Have a Dream" speech. This is already 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Remember, that document, the Emancipation Proclamation, told people that they were free, but there was still so much hatred towards black people that they started rallying all these people to try and sway the entire population to let them know that they are people too and that they should be treated the exact same. Well, this launched, his speech and other things that happened during this time launched the Civil Rights Act of 1964. By law, finally, discrimination or treating people differently was illegal. Then, 1 year later, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 helped every person to be able to vote. And it had laws that protected every person to be able to vote. And this has been a really important document, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Even people in the South, they had to all vote the same. Well, before the March on Washington in 1955, a war broke out in Vietnam. And this is the map of the world. And this area right here is Vietnam. And the United States entered into this war in 1961.